Hey yoga and fitness friends, welcome back to the channel and thanks for joining me on the mat for some yoga. If you're new, welcome. I'm Vicky with UPLIFT Yoga and Fitness and I'm so glad you're here. Today's class is part of my free 30-day splits challenge. Splits pose is an intermediate posture and many people push themselves too far and risk injury when attempting this pose. So I put together this challenge so we can work towards the splits smartly and safely over the course of a month, practicing postures and flows to prep the body for Hanumanasana, monkey pose, or splits pose. Sign up for the challenge at upliftyogafitness.com/upliftsplitschallenge. Get the link below, and I'll send you a pose reference sheet so you know all the poses we'll practice for the month, and you'll get an email each day for 30 days with specific instructions for that day's pose. And of course, you'll have 3 mini flow videos, 1 yin video, and 1 full-length peak pose vinyasa class. So sign up, it's free. And please make sure you subscribe to my channel and like this video, as this helps me and others know that you find value in these classes. All right, let's get to work. Okay, friends, welcome to part 3 of our prep for Hanumanasana, monkey pose, or splits pose. So today is the third and final of our mini flow videos where we are simply prepping the body. So I won't be cueing into the splits for this class, but you are certainly welcome to take this or try the splits during or any time after. For props today, I do recommend having at least a block or 2. If you don't have it, or even a block substitute like a book or something, you'll be fine. We'll still be able to get some of the stretches in, but having the blocks may be helpful. All right, we'll begin today in a seated posture. So it could be crisscross applesauce or Sukhasana, easy pose. Just start with the hands on the knees here, closing down the eyes. Let the spine get nice and long, reaching from the crown of the head upwards. Connecting with the breath here. Starting to lengthen the inhales to a count of 4 or 5. Matching the exhales to that same count. Taking one more deep inhale here. Nice full exhale. Inhale the arms up overhead. Really reach, ground down through the sit bones as you bring that energy, pulling it up through the torso, the arms, the fingertips. Drop the right arm, reach with the left. Nice side stretch here. Both sit bones stay planted, just bending into that right elbow as needed. Inhale, both arms up. Drop the left, reach with the right. Inhale up. Now twisting to the right. So the right hand comes behind the left hand to the right knee. Gently looking over that right shoulder. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale to the left, left hand behind, right hand to the left knee, looking over the left shoulder. And release. All right, staying seated here, we're going to find some torso circles. So the hands come to the knees. You'll inhale forward and over to one side, starting going to the right, And as you start to exhale, round backwards, the belly button pulling backwards as you round, and bring it all the way to the left, starting the inhale as you pull the chest forward. Exhaling towards the back, inhaling towards the front. Moving with your breath here, making these circles as fluid, as dynamic as you need to. We'll take one more this way, and then we'll change direction. So when you get to the back, start to pull it forward towards the right, and then the left, circling backwards. Continuing, inhale forward, exhaling back. We'll take one more this direction. And then back to center. And staying in the seated pose for one more stretch, Baddha Konasana. So bring the soles of the feet together, the knees are wide, and you can adjust the distance of the body to the feet by changing the shape of your diamond, okay? So the body closer to the heels is more stretch, and further away is less intense. So you find what works for you. And sitting up nice and tall here, lengthening through the spine, deep inhale. As you exhale, fold it forward. So try to maintain some length in the spine as you come forward. When you can't reach any further, start to round through the back. Let the forehead come towards the feet. The arms can start to come around the legs. Nice, smooth breathing here. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, start to bring the torso up. Hands outside the knees to pull them in towards each other. And we'll move towards tabletop pose. So coming onto our hands and knees. Hips stack over the knees, shoulders over the wrists with the fingers spread wide. We'll warm up a little with a flow that is basically a baby chaturanga and then taking it back into a child's pose, okay? So starting with a gentle core engagement. The belly pulls upward. Find length in the spine here as you reach the crown of the head forward. The tailbone reaches behind you. Now shift the shoulders forward slightly. So the shoulders are coming forward of the wrists. Bend into the elbows. Keep those elbows hugged in. No more than 90-degree bend here. And then press back up. Hip shift back into child's pose. Inhale, coming up, a nice round back. And then lengthen. Find that core engagement. Shoulders forward. Bend the elbows. Press it back. Child's pose. Let's do one more. Inhaling up, nice round back. Lengthen it out. Shoulders forward. Bend the elbows. Press it back. Child's pose. Take a nice deep inhale here. Nice full exhale. Next inhale brings you up through table. Let's tuck the toes very slowly and with intention, press in a downward facing dog. Knees can be bent here, pressing the hands into the mat as if you were pressing it away. Sit bones lifting up. Try to bring the shoulder blades down the back to help create some space for the neck. Let the ribs pull inwards like they're being knit together. Deep inhale here. Full exhale. Bend the knees more. Look at the hands. Step it forward. Find a forward fold at the top of the mat.
Nice deep inhale. Nice full exhale. Bend the knees here. We'll roll up nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time. So just imagine you're moving through molasses nice and slow. Let the shoulders come up and back. The head comes up. All right. Moving through some low lunge salutations to warm the body here. Inhale the arms up, hands through center, bend the knees forward, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands, step the right foot back, find a low lunge. You can adjust the back knee so it's not as far if you need to. And then inhale the arms up. Anjaneyasana. So notice here the belly should be pulling in, the tailbone should be descending downwards. You're finding a stretch through the front of the right quad here. Arms reaching up, breathing. We're holding here for 3 breaths. Nice work. Hands through center. Frame the foot. Tuck the back toes. Step the back foot forward. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands here. Step the left foot back. Back knee down. Adjust your stance as needed. The back foot can come forward if it needs to. And then inhale the arms up. Checking here, belly pulls in, hips tuck, tailbone pointing down. 3 breaths. Nice work. Hands through center. Frame the foot, back, toes tuck, step it forward. Forward fold here. Bend the knees, root to rise. Nice and slow if you need to. Bring the hands to the heart. Great work. All right. So now let's make sure we have the blocks close by just for this next flow. Inhale the arms up, bend the knees, hands through center to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot back first this time. Back knee down. Find Anjaneyasana. And then hands through center. Grab the blocks here, shift the hips back for half split. So if you don't have the blocks, hands are on the floor or to the thigh. If you've got the blocks, they're here. Lengthen through the spine here. Front toes and knee pop, maybe a stretch through the back of this front leg. Block step out of the way, shift it forward, hands plant, tuck the back toes, step to your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands, step the right foot back, drop it down. Anjaneyasana. Hands through center. Find your blocks. Shift the hips back, half splits. Nice long torso. Blocks move out of the way. Shift it forward. This time, tuck the back toes, step into a plank. Find a vinyasa here. Anything you choose. I'll take knees, chin, and chest onto my belly for a baby cobra. And then lower down, through table, into downward facing dog. Take a nice cleansing breath here. Deep inhale through the nose. Full exhale out the mouth. Press into the hands, sit bones lift up, heels descend down, ribs drawing in. Bend the knees here, look at the hands, step forward. Forward fold. And root to rise. Hands into the heart. Okay, moving into our sun B's. So sweep the arms up, toes come to touch, bend the knees as the hips slide back, finding chair pose. Hips tuck under, belly pulls in. Shoulders are relaxed down. Hands through center here, find forward fold. Inhale, nice flat back. Lengthen, plant the hands, step to plank. Your option for a vinyasa here. Meeting in downward facing dog. Fly your right leg here. Pull that knee into the nose, squeeze it up, and then extend it back out. Again, knee into the nose, extend it back out. Last time, knee into the nose, step the foot between the hands, open it up for warrior two. Knee over the ankle, belly pulls in, arms open wide. Very nice. Straighten the front leg, arms come up to touch, toes point forward. So the outer edges of your feet parallel with the short edges of your mat, arms up high. Then bring the hands to the hips, hinge it forward as we find a wide-legged forward fold. So lengthen through the spine here, and then fold the rest of the way down. Shift the weight into the balls of the feet. Smooth, even breathing here. Come up halfway, fingertips to the floor, lengthen through the spine. Then bring the hands to the hips, engage through the back body to pull the torso up. Arms up high. That right foot turns to the top of the mat. Find your warrior two. Back arm comes forward. Step into your plank pose. Move through your vinyasa here. You also have an option to skip it if you choose. Meeting in downward facing dog. Fly the left leg. Pull the knee into the nose. Extend it back out. Knee into the nose, extend, knee into the nose. Last time, step the foot between the hands, back heel down, open it up for warrior two. Adjust the feet as needed, belly in, strong base. Very nice. Straighten the front leg, arms reach to the sky. Toes point to the right side of your mat so the outside edges parallel to the short edges of the mat. Hands to the hips. Hinge it forward. Halfway. And then fold the rest of the way down. Finding that wide-legged fold. Shifting the weight forward. Inhale up halfway. Walk the hands over to that right foot. Notice the difference in the stretch here. Then walk the hands through center over to the left. Back to center. Lengthen through the spine, hands to the hips. Engage the back body as you pull the torso up. Arms to the sky. Left toes point to the front of the mat as you bend the knee. finding warrior two. Back arm forward, frame the foot, step to plank. Move through your vinyasa here. Meeting in downward facing dog. Take a nice cleansing breath here. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Bend the knees, look at the hands, step it forward. Forward fold. And then root to rise, arms sweep up and hands to the heart. Nice work. All right, one more flow. Inhale up, toes come to touch. Bend the knees, chair pose. Holding. Building that strength to balance the stretch. Hands through center, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands, step to plank pose. Move through your vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing dog. Fly the right leg. This time knee to the elbow and extend. Knee to the elbow, extend. Knee to the elbow, extend. Knee to the chest this time, step the foot down. We're setting up for warrior one. So adjusting the back foot forward slightly, keeping the feet hip width apart like on railroad tracks. Front knee bends, arms rise up. Hips are square, right hip pulls back, left hip pulls forward. Straighten the front leg here. Arms come behind, clasp and press the fists down. Let the shoulders open, chest lifting. Bend into that front knee once more, finding humble warrior here. So taking the torso down inside of that front knee, keeping this right hip pulling into the midline. We're not trying to stick it out. Right hip pulls in. The fists are reaching to the wall behind you. Release the fist here. Bring the hands down. Set that stance up for a low lunge. So the back knee drops down. Arms rise up, Untitled. Bring it back down. We'll find lizard pose. So here you probably want to have blocks handy if you've got them. This front foot comes to the outer edge of the mat, 45-degree angle with the foot. I had to have the blocks here so that it helps to relieve the wrist, or it gives me the opportunity to come to the forearms. So if I'm on the hands, the heel of the hands is in line with the heel of the foot. If I'm on my elbows, the elbows are in line with the heel of the foot. Breathing here. Make whatever little movements you need to for adjusting, and then take a nice deep inhale. Nice full exhale to soften into this pose. Smooth, even breathing here. Reconnect with your breath. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, come up to the hands. Let this front foot walk back to center, and then very slowly shift back into those half splits. Very nice. Bring it forward. The blocks can step out of the way. Plant the hands around the foot. Step into your plank. Move through your vinyasa here. Meeting in downward facing dog. Fly that left leg high. Pull the knee into the elbow. Extend it out. Knee to the elbow. Extend. Knee to the elbow. Extend. Next time, knee to the chest. Squeeze it up, step it down. Stepping the back foot forward as we set up for warrior one. Front knee bends, arms rise up. Left hip draws back, right hip presses forward. Energy upwards. Straighten the front leg. Hands can come behind. This time, actually, as you clasp, change which finger's on top. Might feel a little weird because you probably did the more natural one the first time. Let the shoulders roll back and down. Bend into that front knee, coming into humble warrior. Shift it forward, torso inside the knee. Keep this left hip from sticking out. We want to keep it pulled in. That left hip continues to draw back. Right hip forward. The arms press to the wall behind you. Trying to soften the neck here. Release the hands down. Shift that back foot so you can come into low lunge. Find your Anjaneyasana. Sweep the arms up. Reaching. Hands through center to lizard pose. So front foot moves out to the edge of the mat, 45-degree angle. The blocks are here in line with the heel of my foot. Option to stay on the hands or come down to the forearms. Making any minor adjustments. Deep inhale. Full exhale as you soften into the pose. Remember, smooth, even breathing when you're finding these long hold stretches is what helps to tell the body it's safe and okay for it to open up and ease into this stretch. One more deep inhale. Nice full exhale as you come up to the hands. Blocks come with you. Move the blocks out of the way so you can make room as the foot comes back to center. Then the blocks come with you as you shift the hips back for half splits. Lengthen through the torso, front toes pop. And then blocks move out of the way, front knee bends. Frame the foot, step to plank. Move through your vinyasa here. To downward facing dog. Nice cleansing breath here. Deep inhale. Full exhale. All right, moving into another static stretch with pigeon pose. So we're going to stay in this down dog. Fly your right leg. Pull the knee into the nose or the chest, and then step the right knee right behind that right wrist. Slide the left leg back. Now, if you find that your right hip is sinking down, take a block and prop it up. We want to keep those hips square. And then press into the hands, lift the chest, deep inhale. As you exhale, you have the option to come to the forearms. Now, your front leg may or may not be perpendicular to the mat. Mine certainly is not. Find the stretch that feels safe. And once again, reconnect with that breath. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, if you've got the block under the hip, remove it. roll onto that right hip, pull the left leg around as we find a seated twist here. So the right arm reaches up. Let those right ribs move towards the knee, then wrap around as the left arm reaches behind. Deep inhale, lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, soften, maybe looking over that left shoulder. Slowly release here. Bring this left leg around. Come back into your downward facing dog. And we'll do the other side. When you're ready, fly that left leg. Pull the knee into the chest. Step the knee right behind that left wrist. Slide the right leg back. Notice the hips. If that left hip is sinking down, prop it up with the block. Press into the fingertips. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, come to the forearms. Smooth, even breath here. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, remove the block. Roll onto that left hip. Pull the right leg around. Left arm reaches up. Left ribs move towards the knee and then bring the arm around. Right arm behind. Deep inhale to lengthen. Exhale as you twist, maybe looking over that right shoulder. And slowly release. All right, coming now into a seated wide leg fold. Now, I didn't cue at the beginning for us to have a towel or a blanket, and that's okay. You can fold the mat edge up to create a little shelf. That's really only needed if you find that when you're in this position that your hips start to sink back the way that mine do. So the shelf helps to keep the hips propped up. So use that option if you need to. Now for the wide leg part, you don't have to take it out to your full capacity wideness, okay? Maybe even only 75%. The knees and the toes pressing upwards or pointing upwards. Press into the hands or press the hands into the mat. Lengthen through the spine here, flexing through the feet. Breathing. And then release. Reach the arms up here. Bring the arms parallel to the mat. Slide them forward. When you can't reach any further, drop it down. Now this might be a good place to have a block under the forehead if you find that you're not feeling very supported, just kind of hanging here. If you need to have a slight bend in the knees, certainly do so. Take one more deep inhale. As you exhale, walk the hands back. Hands to the outsides of the knees to pull them in. And we will move to our backs here for a few final stretches. All right, so as you move onto your backs, we'll be finding happy baby pose, full happy baby pose. So the arms come between the knees, the hands to the outsides of the feet, or maybe even the ankles, depending on what you can reach. Gently pull the knees down towards the outer edges of the armpits. The ankles start to stack over the knees. Here, the sacrum, the tailbone area, presses down into the mat for stability. Actively pulling the feet, but gently, for a few counts. And then let gravity take over. Release the hands from the feet, but keep the feet elevated here. Extend through the knees and then open the legs wide. Hands can come to the outside of the thighs for support if needed. Supta Konasana, a gentle flex in the feet here. And then slowly draw the ankles together so the feet are standing on the ceiling. Waterfall pose. Hands can be alongside the body or across the belly. Pull the knees into the chest here. Give yourself a nice hug. Maybe sway the knees from side to side. Now, if you feel that you need a Shavasana, which I do not discourage, but if you feel the need for a Shavasana, certainly go ahead and stop the video and set a timer for any Shavasana length you need. Otherwise, roll to one side here, slowly coming up to sit. We'll find a few moments here in a seated position. So again, taking any final rest that you need, but from the seated position, hands come to the knees. You can take the gaze to the floor or close down the eyes. Create a little length in the spine, crown of the head reaching up. Maybe the palms turn upwards. Just focus on the breath for a few moments. Take one more deep inhale here. Nice full exhale. Bring the hands to heart center, the chin to the chest as a symbol of gratitude toward yourself today for making time for this yoga practice, for making time to prep the body for splits pose, Hanumanasana, or monkey pose. So whether or not you do this pose or this practice as a standalone or as part of the 30-day splits challenge, either way, I hope you found a nice stretch while also finding strength
and that you can take that balance off the mat into your day with peace, love, and gratitude. Namaste.